Welcome you all again in the field session. Today we will discuss about the fracture frequency, how to calculate the fracture frequency in the borehole course, and how to measure the you can say, or how to feel the roughness of the fractures in the borehole course, as well as how to define the texture of the rock in the borehole course, and how to collect the different samples for the laboratory testing, like for the UCS testing and for triaxial testing to calculate the C and phi of the rock. So let's start from the fracture frequency. So here we have borehole course. So basically the fracture frequency depends on the total run. So the formula of the fracture frequency is the total number of the fractures divided by the total run. Suppose that we have a run, because the run of the drilling run depends on the different rigs. Some rig has run 1.5 meter, 2 meter and 3 meters. So it's depend on the machine. So total so what we have to do, we have to calculate or we have to count the number of the fracture in total runs. In this case, in this lecture, the total run of the machine is 2 meter. Okay, so first of all we have to measure the whole core. This is 2 meters, so means 200 centimeters should be there. So this is 30 centimeter, then 60 centimeter, then 90 centimeter, then total is 100 centimeter. So from here to here this is 2 meter. Okay, so now we have to count the natural fractures, not the mechanical fractures or mechanical breakage. Okay, so here you can see this is 1 2 3, okay, 4, then 5 6 and 7. So we have total 7 fractures and total run is the 2 meter. So we can divide the total number of the fracture by the total length of the run. So 7 by 2 meter. So approximately 3.5 fracture per meter we are getting here. So this is the fracture frequency. Now second thing in the borehole course is the roughness. How to define the roughness of the fracture. So in the borehole core, we have a instrument. This is Barton comb profilometer. So this instrument used in the field to measure the roughness of the discontinuity. But in the borehole core, because this is not long enough, the length of this or dimension of this Barton comb profilometer is 300 mm. So here you can see the exposure of the discontinuity is very less, so we can't use this one here. Okay, so we have to feel it. Suppose that we have a natural fracture here. So if we feel this fracture, this is rough to this one is giving roughness feeling to over if we move our hand over the discontinuity plane. So this is rough. Now if we see this fracture, this one is the rough undulatory. Okay, you can see the surface is undulatory here, and if we feel this one, so this is rough but the surface is undulatory, so this one is the rough undulatory. Similarly, if we see this fracture, you can see here we have secondary feeling of the mineral, some silica recrystallized over the surface. So if we feel this one give the smoothy appearance. So this one is the smooth plane here. Okay, now you can see this one also. This one is the again rough undulatory smoothy appearance. You can see I am feeling here this one is the smoothy surface, but in the appearance this one is the undulatory in the nature. Now second thing is next description is the texture. How to define the texture of the rock during the borehole core logging. So here we have different core samples. This one is from the basalt. So this one is very fine grained and we can't see by the naked eye. To describe such type of rock, we have to use the magnifying lens, hand lens, and we can describe it. So based on that, this one is very fine grained and there is no any color bending throughout the core. So there is no appearance. So this one is very fine grained, compact. Okay. Similarly, if we see this core sample, so this one again basalt, but this is a different kind of basalt, reddish in color, and you can see amagadules here also and some geolite feeling also you can see here. So some geolite feelings also exist here. So we can see this one is the reddish in color and appearance of the zeolite present here, and you can see some white color secondary precipitation of the calcite also here. Okay. Similarly, if we see this sample, you can see this one is, you can see the organ gneiss is here and all the organs are aligned in a particular direction. So this one is the organ gneiss. Some structural geologists also say this one is the myelonetic gneiss. Because why this is myelonetic gneiss? Because the appearance or the trace of the foliation can be traced by the lineation features. They are means generating the lineation over the surface. So we can say this one is the myelonetic gneiss, means some seared means rock. Okay, so or simply we can say this one is the organ gneiss. Similarly, we have another sample here. You can see this sample. So we have color lamination here, and some minerals are also aligned in a particular direction. So this one is the fine grain gneiss. Okay, fine grain gneiss aligned in a particular direction, greenish in color, grayish to greenish in color. So this is the how the texture we can define. If suppose that we are getting some special feature during the borehole course, so as you can see here, we are getting some special intrusion during the core logging. So we can define this one. We have some white color banding. It may be calcite or maybe quartzite. So maybe quartz. So we have to test over it. If this is calcite, we can perform the HCl test. If it gives the affordances with the contact of the HCl, so this that means this is a calcite filling. Okay. Next one is how to collect the sample for the laboratory testing. So laboratory testing is basically we want to calculate the UCS value in the laboratory. So for the laboratory test, what we have to do, at least we have to collect such type of sample, because for the laboratory testing, for the UCS value and for the triaxial value, for the C and phi value of the rock, we have to collect at least more than 10 centimeter long sample. So you can see here the length is the approximately 20 centimeter, because after collecting the sample in laboratory we have to give the finishing like that. You can see this sample, we have to cut by the cutter from other side and other side also. So if you collect such type of sample approximately 50 centimeter long from the field or from the borehole, so we have to cut it. Okay, so we have to, and the minimum length of the core should be 11 centimeter or should be 10 centimeter, not less than 10 centimeter. Okay, so we have to at least collect the core sample from the field at least 15 centimeter long. Okay, similarly you can see these core boxes. So we have alternate bands of different kinds of the basalt. So during the sample collection we have to keep this thing in our mind. That means the sample should be representative for different kinds of the strata. So if suppose that somebody ask me to collect the sample, so we have, I'll collect sample from one type of basalt and the another type of the basalt. Other than this, we have to note down some information also, like borehole numbers, then coordinate of the borehole, depth of the collected sample. What is the depth of the collected sample? For example, 15 meter depth or 18 meter depth, 20 meter depth. So that should be mentioned during the collection of the samples. I hope this video will help you in the during such type of exercise in the field. And this is the end of the video. Thank you very much.